You go.
Good afternoon. My name is Yusif Bay. I live in Lodi, New Jersey, and I am coming to you very hesitantly and very nervously, but I'm coming to speak to you with the conviction that is so strong because it's through a life lived. And that is that most people in this world, we need basic things. We need to be seen, we need to be heard, and we need to be acknowledged. And as a member of the gay community, so often in my life, I was not seen, I was not heard, and I certainly was not acknowledged. And through this caused a great deal of things in my life. Depression, number one, a sadness that could have been relieved if I had what we all need and want, which is a community, a place where you feel safe, a place not that solves your problems, but a place where you can share your problems because other people are going through the same thing. This sense of not having a community is really, should I say, exasperated when you're young, because it gives you a sense of low self-esteem. It gives a sense that something's wrong with you. But I think of most of all, the most terrible thing, it gives a sense that you are alone in this world. I did not have a community center, a gay community center growing up in my community. I did not know gay people until I was like 17 years old. And the only thing I knew was I had feelings and emotions that were mine alone and that must be hidden. I found this community in LA when I was in my late 20s. It was a godsend. It boosted my confidence. It boosted my sense of community. But I thought it was tragic that so much of my life up to that point could have really been, a lot of pain could have been alleviated if I had that community sooner. I know for those who are not gay, they're probably thinking, well, a building, brick and mortar, where you guys come together, is that really important? I'm here to tell you it is. I'm here to tell you to be able to go to a place and talk about your fears, your struggles, and your unique joys and dreams with someone who gets it is life changing. And even as we get older, you know, most people in this country, your circle gets smaller, your world gets smaller. And it is important to go somewhere with other gay people who are older and to be able to say, wow, look at us, how we were then and look where we are now, and talk about the radical changes that happen when you get older. Because I know at every stage of your life, you need a community. You need to know the basic needs of human beings, which is to be seen, to be heard, and to be acknowledged. Whether you are 10, 11, 12, or at my age, 53, that need never changes, that desire never goes away. And when you find that place, that peace that it brings never diminishes. I guess I could give a lot of personal information about my life, but it's funny, at 53 years old, I feel uncomfortable doing that. And I thought when I was 17, this would be easy to do. So I'm imagining at 53, if I'm uncomfortable sharing this in the space of people I don't know, who may not share my lifestyle, imagine what a 17-year-old is going through. So what I'm saying is the need never diminishes. And you may not have walked or lived this life, but you can look in your heart and know that ultimately you want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to be acknowledged, and you want to do it in a space that is safe and that understands, that gets you. So open your heart and let's help each other. Let's help each other.
Thank you. Thank you. You have anything else you wanna share?
Huh?
You want have anything else you want to share before we end this?
I want to share that I pray for those young people who are out there wondering and lost, because I was once them. And I pray that they find their way and they find their space and they find a place that reflects their community.
Yeah. And thank you, because you're highlighting a point that you know, we didn't have the elders because the people that came before us died because of AIDS, because they had to be hidden, or because of suicide or whatnot. We didn't have that kind of support, even though we had amazing people that did the work. But in our community, we didn't have that, and it's so important to we understand the importance of this, and this is why we do this, to offer for the next generation, and it is so important. And just one last question: what do you think? How do you think you would have turned out if you never found that place in LA?
Can you hold on 1 minute?
Yeah, let me pause. Let me pause. Okay.
I think if I did not find that place in LA, really in my late 20s, actually, I was like 26, 27 years old. I think not only would my world have been smaller, my conception of community would have been smaller. My humanity would have been smaller because I would not have been able to hear the stories that I heard. I would not have been able to hear some tragic stories of young men being kicked out at 13 and 14 years old because they were found out to be gay. I probably would not have been able to have the gratitude that I have towards my family and my parents, because even though it was a household of don't ask, don't tell, outside of that restriction, and it is a terrible restriction, I did experience a love that hearing these other more tragic stories, it helped to heal some resentment, but it also opened my heart to the idea that there is suffering in this community, in my community, that I myself am not even aware of. And it made me a better person. It made me a more compassionate person. It made me a more open person. And it made me a better, and this may sound corny as hell, it did make me a better citizen, because I now know that I don't know what I don't know. And that in itself is a powerful in expanding our humanity and our compassion for each other. You don't know what you don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. And just picking up from what you were saying, about how there's a need for this, I was just thinking in my head, you know, other cultures and religions, they have spaces, right? They have
Yeah.
spaces where they can go, but yet we are born into families and we're different, and we don't have any innate space where we can go to. You know what I mean? Like I'm Puerto Rican. I can go back to Puerto Rico, or I can go to this store and get food that's Puerto Rican, or I can do this and I can connect with that part of me. But we don't have spaces, and the spaces that we do have,
Yes,
um, you may not want that to be representing you, like a bar,
yeah,
or or a park, a
yeah,
space in a park, maybe your only way to connect. Uh,
yes,
so it's important to have those spaces as a human being, to be and to exist and to
yeah,
recharge that part of you.
yes. Yeah.
That's that's really it's
And to validate that part of you.
yeah, you know, yeah,
know?
exactly.
When you see each other, it's a certain validation in seeing someone who within their spirit, in their soul, holds so much of what's in yours, the good and the bad, the sad, the joy. It's a validation of who you are. And it's
Yeah,
a beautiful thing.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Thank you for your amazing words. Really, I learned a little bit each time I do this, and I love you.
Yeah,
You know,
thank you for your leadership on this. Thank you for pushing us all out of our comfort zones.
as the dictator as
So,
I am. Personal joke. All right, I'm gonna end the recording. Are you okay with everything you said so far?
I'm totally okay with everything I
And you
said.
you have
Yes.
plenty of time to review it and all that, and at any time you feel uncomfortable, we can't take rid we get rid of this.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.